Peace, grand rising, kings and queens, grand rising. How are you? I decided to go early today because I want to say a lot of things without interruption. So I don't even have my comments on right now. So I just wanted to get in here and say a couple of things because I've been seeing some stuff, and like I said, for 2026, we're going to knock out all of these fake liars, all of these creators, these pioneers, these all of these people that are just coming in and lying and saying that they were there, they did this, they did that. It's all come. You got to come with real proof these days. I've been seeing a lot of videos where they show what people said, and people did this, that they said they did this, and they said that, and they got documents stating this and documents stating that, when all of that is just bull. It's bull. Anybody could say anything. You can write anything. That's what Wikipedia is people's opinion about things, of what they said. One thing about DJ Faze is I I tell about my accounts and what I have done. It's not about what somebody else has done and somebody else's proof, or, oh, this person said this and this person said that. No, no, no. I'm going to show you directly what it is and what it's all about. Okay. So let's, because I'm going straight in. I'm not waiting for people to come into my live. And I'm not doing none of that. Okay. I'm just going straight for the jugular, and I'm keeping it 100. I know it's Super Bowl Sunday. So I decided to go on early because a lot of people are going to be going. I'm actually, on the road myself, doing some parties and stuff. So I just wanted to get in early, and I wanted to put all this nonsense to rest, because that's all it is nonsense. On our other channel, Michael Wing TV and the Culture Since '71, and now we have the grandfathers of hip hop. We've been doing this, telling the story and showing our proofs and bringing people on and telling their truths, and doing this for years now. We've been doing it. And what's happening is, people from those channels, people are actually growing their channels and getting it from our stuff, from our things. And all we have been doing this whole time is putting and showing the creation of hip hop. We showed the creation of the Black Spades, what their contribution to our creation of hip hop is. Showing Mario, showing what why he's considered for the creation of hip hop, and showing the things that we did that actually created hip hop. And so now, just the other day, I was watching one of these guys. I'm not going to say names because I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to say people's names at all anymore. And this guy got on there, and he was telling about how he thought that the flyer, this first hip hop flyer, was a fake. Now, in the beginning, this same person was praising this flyer and praising these things and everything. But when we had discussed and showed, we were the first channel that disclosed and showed that that flyer could not have been real. We were the first channel that did that. And so as years go by, which I said early on, I said many years ago, I said, because I told my people, the videographer, I told him, I said, listen, man, people are going to take what we say, take what I say, take, what we do, and they're going to use it for their own. So if you go back 11 years or whatever, and you look at my video, I remember specifically saying that the people were going to take what we say and what we show and use it for their own, and that's exactly what's happening. You look at the early Michael Wayne TV, and you will see that that's exactly what happened. In reality, I'm not mad at it, but it just goes to show, that we the creators of hip hop, we've done that. We set these trends, and people, instead of saying, okay, they set this trend or whatever, they just want to take it and say it's theirs. There's another person that just got on there and saying about how the Mario didn't have any break, that someone bought Mario's equipment and his records and went through the records, and he had said 100 crates of records of Mario's, which I know for a fact that's a lie. All right, I know for a fact that's a lie. That's number one. But the thing that got me was that he said out of these 100 crates of records that he so-called bought, that the guy bought, not him, somebody else, because he kept on saying that I got, but you don't have anything. Show me. I can show everything that I got. I can show you. Okay, so he said out of these 100 crates of records, that there was no breaks. It was just disco record, because he was Disco King Mario. And that's the part that got me. Out of all the other stuff, I would have shut up. I wouldn't have said nothing. But that's the part that got me. And it just proves what me and Black have been saying all along. That little young Black have been saying all along. The reason why people can make these videos and say these things is because, number one, they were not there. They were not there in the creation of it. Okay, so let's talk about the creation of it. First of all, the creation of it is mainly from 70 to 74. I say 73, 74, okay, is the creation of it, okay? Anything after that, it's already created, okay? So let's get that out right in the open right now. So for all of those that say that, no, there wasn't no hip-hop in 70, 71, no, there was no hip-hop, you weren't there to know what hip hop was. You weren't there to know what the creation was. You weren't there. So if you weren't there, how can you say what it is, that there wasn't none? For all of those that say, oh, well, it's not on no flyer or anything, because you said flyer proves that you're not there. It proves that you was not there in the creation of hip hop. If you say anything about how it was put over here and they were cutting and scratching and they were emceeing and all of that, it proves that you were not there for the creation of hip hop. And that's a big part. That's a big part, is the creation of it. We're not talking about what happened after it was created. We're not talking about what happened after the beginning started, the middle and the end. And we're not talking about that. We're talking about the actual creation of it. And that's where, it is, I get kind of aggravated at people that say something that they totally don't know. They just totally don't know. So I'm gonna go through maybe about 3 or 4 things today. Was going to explain, and it's going to be able to knock out the theory about who was there and what it was, and how it was created. I'm going to try to knock out some of the theories. Okay, so whew, oh my goodness, there's just so much I just want to say, but another thing. Okay, so I know I told you guys last week about the book. So what's happening now is that we're building up uh, um, a financial banking for my book. Okay, and so with this financial banking, we're going to be able to publish it and distribute it within us. Okay, and when I say us, meaning you guys as well. A lot of you guys, the ones that have stuck by me, the ones have supported me, you automatically get a copy of the book. So you do not have to go and buy that book. I'm going to be like Oprah. You get a book, you get a book, you get a book, you get a book. So that's without a doubt. You're going to definitely get a book. And don't think that we don't know about your donations. Don't think that at all, because every donation that you have sent is always listed, and we have a definitely log of every cent and every penny that you have put to donate to DJ Phase. Okay, that's number one. Okay, so number two thing is this. One of the people that I'm talking about, I might have to apologize, because, well, two people I might have to apologize to, because after talking to one of my older friends, this little bit older than me, and he explained to me that we really damaged these people as being kids, and then at a adult, exposing them. We exposed them, which we didn't expose them on purpose. In other words, they came after us, and one is still coming after me all the time. And but we damaged their I guess psyche, I guess, or whatever. And so for that I apologize, because I never meant to do that to anybody. I never meant to damage their not only their credibility but their psychic. I didn't want to do that. But I have to say this though. So one of the individuals that talk about me and say that, oh, I wasn't this and I wasn't that, and I didn't do this and didn't do that, and whatever, that person wasn't in Bronxdale for the 60s, 70s until the 80s. Okay. So they definitely wasn't there before the pre-creation of hip hop. They definitely wasn't there for the creation of hip hop. They definitely wasn't there for the beginning of hip hop. And basically, after the 80s, you might as well say you're just like with the other people, and that's a fact. That's a fact. My family was in Bronxdale from 67 to 77. Okay, and then I had family that stayed on after we left. The immediate family left. I had people that stayed there. And till this day, one of my best friends' parent still lives in Bronxdale. So, there's no way that you can tell me what happened, what I did. So, of all of those that really know me, that can know that I was in the first section first, 1055 Rosedale Avenue, which is Andre Harrell's building. And then we moved from 1055 Rosedale Avenue to the second section, 1085 Beach Avenue, which was another famous building. It was Willie Richardson, God bless the dead, Willie Richardson's building. And that was the gangsterism. So me, as the little drummer boy, as you say, I had a chance to experience the first section and experience the second section. And now the thing is that, and people of Bronxdale know exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of the first section maybe will journey off to the second section, right? And a lot of the section would go from the second section to the third section. The third section come to the second section. The first section would come to the second section. So the second section had all of the people from Bronxdale to come to this section. And so one of the people said, sounded so, I don't want to say dumb and stupid, but if you really think about it, that was a very idiotic statement to say that Mario didn't know nobody in the second section or the third section. That's just crazy. The real people, the real gangsters and whatever, fly guys and fly girls or whatever, came to every section. They came to the second section. They was in the first section, and so on and so on. From every section, you have people that did that. Every section. Second section, you had the Black Willies and the Bloods and the just could go on. Third section, Black. It just could go on. First section, and so that is one of the problems that these people that are claiming, to be a creator, claiming to be this pioneer, or claiming to be the first to do something, it makes no sense. One of the people claimed that I stole an event from them, which is a total lie, because number one thing is I had a tribute to Mario event in the third section of Bronxdale near a Pathmark while Mario was alive. Mario passed in 94, and I had an event, a tribute to Mario event before he passed away. That's totally number one. So any event that came after that event actually stole from me. That's without a doubt. This is something that is edged in. This is real. This is a fact. This is not nothing that's made up. This is 100% fact. Okay, the people that did it with me, I can bring. Some of them are still alive today, and I can bring and show that that's exactly what happened in the third section Okay, so that saying that I stole the event is 100% lie. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the person that said that I stole the event from them was not even in Bronxdale, nowhere near Bronxdale for 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79. Were nowhere near Bronxdale. It had nothing to do with Bronxdale at all. So how could they know about the Black Spades? How could they know who was doing the Black Spades? How they could know who was creating hip hop? How they could know what Mario was doing, where he was going, what shows he was doing? Wasn't at the Lollipop, wasn't at the bowling alley, wasn't in Rosedale Park, wasn't no 123 or anything. So how can this person say that I stole something from them when they were not even there? And there's someone that's in here right now, someone in here right now that can testify and say that I'm telling the exact thing. I just got off the phone a little while ago. They said, I don't remember this person being there nowhere in the 70s, nowhere. Because we were talking about my building in 1085, where I used to climb out the window onto the nursery and cut out and do whatever I had to do. See, but people that are not from Bronxdale can't tell you the nursery building. They can't tell you that. You see what I'm saying? And the other person that says, oh, that nobody, knew, Mario didn't know nothing about the second section is totally wrong. Because that's where the people, this is what we did back then. This was, it was just so much, to do. And another one of the persons that claim, oh my God, that they're the creator and they did this and everything. I never talk about here about the British Walkers or the Quarterfields or the AJs with the V in the back, AJs with the buckle overlaps, two-tone overlaps, Montnex, that said AJ Lester inside, the rips or the the marshmallows or the none of that. I don't hear none of that, because at those times when those things came out, they did not have them. They did not have them at all, like at all. Like, don't know nothing about the suede pockets, shirts, or nothing. They did not have them. So how can you be a creator of something when we did? We did, us as kids, because you know why? We have it on video. We have it on video where Black Willie, God rest his soul, came and said on video, we have it on video, that yes, I had all of those things, and that they would not let me come downstairs and go anywhere unless I was rocking, unless I was put together right. If I wasn't matching clothes, got to go back upstairs. If I wasn't the way up, I got to go back upstairs. And Black Willie said this. Reggie Malcolm, God rest his soul, said this. This is on film. This is on film. And everybody in the project from those days can contest, can say, yes. Yes, he had that. Yes, he was one of the first people we ever saw with a mini bike in Bronxdale projects. Yes. So this is the part that, okay, so I didn't see you rocking that. Nobody else saw you rocking that. But even till right now, I look, I take off my shoe right now. All right, look, don't do nothing. Just touch whatever, pull it off and whatever. And what I got on, what I got on, okay? And that's just how it is, all right? And I just pulled it off my foot right now, just boom, and show you. Because that's what I am. That's what I did. I was the kid that did that. So all of that talking about, oh, this or whatever, no, I don't remember that. I don't remember you being there. I don't remember you being in the cabbage room. I don't remember you being in nowhere. I don't remember you being in the hallways. I don't remember you being in the staircase snapping. I just called Noli. I remember Noli. I remember Noli. I remember Noli coming into the building. I remember Noli from the first section. When I lived in the first section. I remember Cleveland. I remember that. I remember he remembers me. I remember that. I remember being in water fights and playing manhunt and Ring Alivio and all of that. I remember that, and they remember me. But we don't remember you guys, you two. We don't remember you because you weren't there. So how can you tell us what we were doing? How can you debate and tell us, no, I wasn't there. No, he didn't do this. No, he didn't. You weren't there to even tell how somebody else was there. You were not there. I stole an event from you. What? That sounds, and then that's why everybody tells me, yo, FaZe, man, but I'm trying to let it go. But then I see something, like, oh, what they're going to do and have, no, you ain't going to do nothing. You wasn't there. Point blank, you mad because I'm telling that you wasn't there, and I'm telling what I seen and what I did. Another thing, which just kills me about all of these people, especially just saying that they got Mario's equipment and how he had to borrow equipment. No. Mm-mm. First of all, let's go to the actual real deal. And this is what, oh God, oh man, I when the book comes out, y'all gonna understand why I get like this. But anyway, so I saw a picture, right, of this guy claiming that he had Mario's equipment. All right. So in the creation of hip hop, all right, when Mario first came outside, this is something that you guys don't know. Now, yes, it was playing in front of the building a couple of times, but the first outside, okay, it was a combination of a couple of us. I'm not gonna say no names, but a couple of us, what we had, okay. So now remember, I'm a kid. This is what this is all about. This is being a kid, okay, for the creation of hip hop. So, for those who know, my father had a club, right? And in this club, a lot of people came. A lot of people, known people, came to this club that he has. Very famous club. You guys who are real gangsters and real people that know me know. And so when this club started getting real money, I mean, like real money, there's a difference between having money and getting real money. And you guys, the gangsters, know what I'm talking about. So decided to swap out the old equipment and get new equipment, right? Okay. So let's first talk about some of that equipment. All right. And remember, we're talking about the creation of hip hop. Okay. So when they swapped out that equipment, they gave me, well, they didn't even give it to me, brought it to the house, into the apartment, and it became mine. Okay. For my family that's here that knows, they said, well, it wasn't really quite given to you. You basically took it for your own. So, yes, so that's what happened. Once the equipment got to my house, it became my equipment. Okay. At that young age, it was my equipment, point blank, period. So all of these people that don't even know about equipment, and when I show you in the book, I'll show you. Okay, so let's go here. Let's go here. Let me make sure I'm going to the right places. Okay. Okay. Okay, now this is something, because all of these, and watch, after this, I'm telling you guys, after this, it's going to be on the internet. It's going to be something that it was known. It was going to be something that they said already. This is something that they said already. Okay, which is just garbage. No, it was not. They're liars. They're liars. Okay, so the Gauss speaker. Remember, I'm telling you guys about the Gauss speaker, because nobody talks about the Gauss. They talk about JBL, they talk about the EVs, and all of that stuff, but they don't talk about the Gauss speaker. Okay, so it says the Gauss Speaker Company was founded in 1966 in Santa Monica, California. While the company was established in 1966, their performance drivers and speakers became widely used in the late 60s and 70s, with notable products like the HF4000 compression driver introduced in early 1977. Now, go back. Okay, go back, and founded in loudspeakers. There was MCA 1969, and then Sectec in 1972. Okay, so now remember that. Remember those dates. All right. Now, look. The first 15-inch loudspeaker from Gauss Speaker were designed following the arrival of former JBL engineer Ed May in 1969, with production beginning in the early 1970s. Okay, so it was produced in 1969. That's when they came out with it. I mean, they did it. And so by 1970 was the first introductions using it. Okay? That's it. Okay? Now, what is this? Oh, no. Ooh, that's too early. Too early. Okay. Now, the company was acquired by MCA in 1969 and later Sectec Corp in 1972, which is when the brand became commonly known as Sectec Gauss. While they were active in the 1970s, many of the 15-inch models, such as the 4580 series, gained widespread popularity throughout the late 70s and 80s. Okay? So that's number one thing. Okay, so let's go back here. Let's go back here. So I bring that up to say that the 4 speakers that were used in Mario's first jam were my Gauss speakers. Okay, so now let's go back to I think it's this. No, ooh, can't do that. Can't do that. Let's go back to what I was talking about. Hold on. No. There. Bang. All right. Here we go. Okay. So now, if you guys remember, and it's in my book, all right, if you remember that I was telling you guys about the actual Sansui receiver that was used. See, this is something that I keep on talking about. People that say that they brought someone's equipment. They would, of course, if they bought somebody's equipment, they would know exactly what they bought. I know I'm not spending nobody my money on something that I don't even know what I'm buying. So they would know exactly what they bought, right? Okay. So Sansui introduced its first two receivers, the 500 and the 1000 models, in 1963 to target export markets. Prior to the company focused on transformers and amplifiers. Following these, the company launched its first transistorized receiver, the TR-707, in 1965. Okay. Now, like I said, if you bought someone's equipment, you would know exactly what that equipment is. That's number one. And if the person acquired Mario's equipment, then that's the first thing that was used. That was the first equipment. And the reason why it could not have been acquired and it could not have been bought, because it's been in my mother's attic since it was used. It's right there. There it is, right there. Okay, so you can go look, and everybody go look and say, oh, you know, that picture, whatever. It'll probably be on the internet now. Yeah. But that's the that's the Sansui right there. That's it. That's what Mario used right there. Right there. So if someone bought that, how come it's right there right now? Huh? And I'll do a live where I'll put it up and I'll show you. Okay? I'll put it up and I'll show you. So nobody could have bought that. It's facts. Okay? That's a fact. That's something that is you can't take something or a paper written or say something or say that somebody said this or something, whatever, as a fact. Okay, now. Oh God, I had to do this. Like I had to do this. Like y'all not feeling me. Y'all not understanding what I'm doing. This is real. We from Bronxdale. We real. This 100% real. Okay. So remember, I told you. I said how I started. How I did was that we had a TV console that had the Gerard turntable, the receiver, and the 8-track tape deck in the same thing. That's how I started. That's where I started playing my James Brown records at. Okay, that's where I started as a kid. Okay. I was putting records on this record player before I was 5, okay, or whatever, okay? So that's something that I experienced real, okay? And the thing about it is, people was talking about it. Oh yeah, they had this or they had that or whatever. But we don't do that. See, one thing I love about my moms, and everybody could tell you, my mom holds on to things. Just she holds on to things, and I love her for that. We all love her for that. She has a house. Her and my dad have a house, a big old house that they've had since '77, and it's just them. Okay, so they can have things there. We all have our own houses. We all are moved out and have, oh, so she can keep things, and we love her for that. So one of the things that was kept is this electrophonic deal with the actual thing. So people said to me, "No, you didn't. That's not where how you grew up or whatever." Which I don't know why they would say something like that, but what I had to do was go and take a picture of it. Okay. So there you go. Electrophonic. There's the receiver right there, right? There's the 8-track tape player, right? And then let's do it this one. Look at this picture. And there it is. That's the Gerard turntable right there. That's the record player right there. So now, all of those people that talk about in the beginning of hip hop, in the creation of hip hop, they were scratching and cutting and doing all of that. And do you see that? Do you see that record player? Do you see that right there? Do you see that? You see that right there? That's the record player. And in the middle is where the spindle holds the other records that are on top of there to drop down when this arm comes across. And there you see the speeds on the bottom, and it's a jack in the auto, and back here it has the certain things. Okay, so that's that. Okay. Okay, so that's that. So that's why it was about the kids, because we were the ones that were putting these things in there. The adults did their stuff, but we did our stuff. And that's what it was. Okay, another thing that caught my eye that I realized, and I can't wait to go and show you, all right, but in the creation of hip hop, the creation, all right, of hip hop, we didn't have milk crates like that. Okay, we did not have milk crates like that. If you had your albums, or all of us know, all us real people, real creators, and real whatever would know that the 45 case came two ways. It came in a round one, and then they came in a little box one. Okay, with the handle on it. Okay, the round one was came up to about here, and you take the knob and you turn it around and pull it up, and the 45s will be there. That's 100% real. That's not, you cannot deny that. Okay, that's 100% real. Now, the people that weren't there, the people that don't know about that, can't tell you about that. They cannot tell you about that. They cannot fathom that that's how it happened and that's what we did. They cannot tell you about that. So they can have documents. They can have documents about this. They can have documents about that. But okay, okay, those were the crates. Okay, those were the crates for the record albums, okay? Those, not milk crates like how you see them now. Those were the crates, okay? Now, the other thing that bothered me why I'm on this whole thing right now saying this is because remember in the other guy's video, right? In the other guy's video, he said that the guy got 100 crates of records and there were no break beats in those 100 crates of records, right? And Mario, Disco King Mario's crates of records, 100 crates now, and didn't have any break beats, which shows that you were not there in the creation, because anyone knows that Mario played James Brown. Okay. And so that's just, oh my God. Okay, is this it? Okay, no, that's not it. Let's go up. Okay. All right. No, that's not it. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, well, I've gone a bit too fast. Okay, here we go. Let's go now for 100 crates of records that didn't have no break beats. Okay, now, first of all, and now watch, I'm going to say this on here. I hope you guys record it, and I hope you guys know that I'm going to say it on here. But this record right here was played for the first break dancer in hip hop history. This record right here. James Brown's Cold Sweat was released as a single in June 1967. Remember those dates. Remember June 1967. So in July is when it started just going crazy. If it was released in June, by the time they got around or whatever, in July is when it started becoming whatever, okay? And oh my God, you gotta understand these dates. These dates are so, oh my God, okay? So, same name following in August 1967, recorded in May 1967. The song is recognized as one of the first true funk records, okay? The first funk record, true funk record. Okay? Okay. Now, let's look at that. Okay. James Brown released Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud. In 1968, the iconic song was released as a single during the height of the civil rights movement and became an unofficial anthem of the Black Power movement. 1968, remember these dates. So if you got 100 crates of Mario's record, and you don't know that in 1970 and 71, Mario was playing the records that was hot right then, especially me having James Brown, Cold Sweat, me having Say It Loud, You're Black and You're Proud, me having Funky Drummer. And if those records are not in the crates, you know why? because they in my house. They in my house right now. Those 3 records, at least those 3 records, are at my house right now. Okay? So yeah, but I'm sure out of 100 crates of records by that time, of course Mario had his own. He had his own. And I'm sure James Brown was, if those are Mario's records, why wouldn't James Brown be there? Because listen, this is the thing that I can tell you though. For those people that said that they were there, that said, and I'm gotta go back on screen for this one. For those people that said they were there and they know about Mario so much and they were whatever, that's the first thing you would have said was, yes, I remember Mario playing James Brown. I remember that right off the back. I remember that. I remember Mario playing James Brown, not Disco King Mario. Mario playing James Brown. But you was there. You know Mario, so you own Mario's name so much. You own it. Mario wasn't playing breaks. Mario wasn't doing. You know that Mario was playing disco, and that's why disco was in his name and everything. You know this. And the other one that, like I said, owns Mario's name. Nobody can say Mario's name because they would. But you don't know about 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, what Mario was doing. That's the prime of Mario. That's the prime of Mario. So how you can own somebody after they pass, number one, but then know what Mario was doing from the 60s to the 80s? How could you know that? This is what, it's just driving me crazy to know. How can you say this? And all of these, I gotta call them idiots, that are coming on to say, oh yeah, well this is what he did, and because this person said this or whatever, that's what it was. They do that. I can tell you guys, you're all here, you're all here, but they on those people's side because the animosity to me. It's because of me. They anything against FaZe, you can believe they're on there with I saw one the other day making the thing go, making the letters of the name like, yay, give me your A. And so they're doing that. They're doing that so much because they were so bad that anything against FaZe, they got to do it. And Yo Black, you told me today, he was like, yo, you got to know why. You got to know why. But okay, so that's number one, right? So let's go to another one. Let's go to another record, right? And baby, I'm not going to tell you all the beats and everything, but I'm just going to tell you the beats that were from 70 and 71 that was being really played, where the creation of hip hop started. So all of those people that said, oh, the break beats was this way, and they wasn't playing no break beats, you wasn't there. You wasn't there, so you don't know what we were playing. You don't know that we were playing this record. And how many people can tell you about this record? No, not that one. Sorry. Let me go back. There you go. Okay, now, there you go. Bang. Okay, there you go. Now, I remember. This is a pure fact. I remember going to Corvettes and getting this 45 and running back to Bronxdale and playing this record. Okay, this was another record that I learned how to play the drums to. Was this record right here? Okay, and you see when it was released in 1971. Okay, isn't that about the time that I said that that was like basically the first really introduction to everybody else about hip hop? I think that's the date that I said was 1971, right? Because you remember all of these other people are saying that no, it didn't have the break beats or whatever came this time and all of that. But isn't this the time? Now, this is the cool part. This is the cool part, right? That the people that are in here right now, the people that are in here and the people that whatever that's going to see this, they're going to say, yo, Booby is telling the 100% truth, because I remember when Mario played this in the part right there, and he played this one, the first one, because like I said, I got this record right here. It wasn't even really in the playing in the park or whatever. It was in the carriage room. It was in the lollipop. It was in the thing. This record, okay, and so you gotta remember, this is the whole part about it, that this is the break beats that they said that Mario wasn't playing. Oh, he was playing disco. So we cannot remember, right, Mario playing Scorpio, because remember, you guys said Mario wasn't playing break beats. You see what I'm saying? Oh God, it just kills me. Now this is the part what this whole thing is all about, right? So as kids, all right, as us being kids, all right, and me, especially me, all right, those are drum breaks. You cannot deny it. The drums solo everything out. All the other instruments stop playing, and the drums play. Boom, da, boom, da, da, boom, da, 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 boom, da. Okay, that's it. All right. So for us kids, when we hear that part of the record, y'all can dance all y'all want to, but we gonna get down on that part of the record. That the other record, yeah, we could be playing around or whatever, but when all the other instruments stop and that part comes on, the drum break, it's all over. We gonna tear you up dancing wise, okay? Listen, if you were young like me and you were in those days and those times, you know I'm talking 100% facts. This is facts. So yes, the older people, they would listen to the rest of the music. But why do you think that we wanted to hear the rest of the music when the favorite part of that music was the drum break for us? That was it. We were kids. All right? And so Mario, he let me do that. He let me play over, because in the book, I'll tell you how even that came about. Okay, in the book, you got to get the book to understand that. But he let us. the other DJs that were out to say that they were so out and they did this in 1969 and all of that other stuff would not dare to do what Mario did. They would not dare to do that. Not at all. But see, Mario was different. Mario was a different kind of performer. Mario was when you see the snake, you know, that a lot of people lie and say that they said it, that they seen him do that. It's a lie. That's a lie. They're lying. They heard somebody talk about it, but did not see him do that. Because by the 80s, now you got to remember the 80s, that move would have been outdated. The 80s, that move would have been outdated. So all of those that said that after the 80s he was doing the snake, you're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. They did not see it because it would have been outdated. All right? Okay? And that's just it. Okay? And remember, the snake was something. That's in my book too. That's in my book too. So I'm not even gonna go there because they'll take that and say with this reason, but they're lying. Okay, so they heard about it, just like they heard about so much other things. They heard about what Mario was doing. They did not know. They did not know. Okay, now. This is another thing. Okay, see, oh God, I know I'm gonna get it for this one, but I gotta tell you, a lot of these people that are saying that they were so fly and they were so whatever, there's a difference between us and them. Okay, a lot of them had to wait, okay, until they had to wait until the things came here. So your mark that might have had an A in it, but the A was not for AJ Lester. Your A was not for AJ Lester. Your overlaps might have got an A in them, but it wasn't for AJ Lester. It was for this store. So now, and this is how we know. Oh my God, we were as kids, we were something else, man. But oh God, okay. So if we caught your snorkel or your mock neck, because we would look, we'll grab you and we'll pull the collar down and look. And if you had that A in there, okay, we would snap on you for the whole rest of the day. Like, people would go home crying. And one of these people that I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna say no name, but one of these people was known to go running crying upstairs because we did that to them. Okay. We were known for grabbing somebody, right, and taking their collar and look for the A. Okay, so if you had an A in your snorkel or your pea coat, remember the pea coat? Or your trench coat, remember the trenches? Or your cashmere, or your quarterfield, or your AJ. If you had that A in there, As kids, we were gonna snap on you, and that's just a pure fact. That's a pure fact. We were gonna snap on you. All right. The other one of the other people that said that they said, oh, you were, you didn't DJ nowhere, you didn't do nothing or whatever, and this is after hip hop started and all of that and everything. And so I told him, I said, well, shoot, I used to DJ with anybody that's real, because it's true. I've DJed with almost everybody that's real, right? And so one of the people that I said, because like a lot of people don't know, but Biz Markie, was the rest of soul, was one of my best friends as well. And so y'all know Biz's journey. He went from being big to small to getting back his weight and stuff like that. So at a time, which was, I think, either the early 90s, maybe early 90s, or it was probably the early 90s. This was before Biggie Smalls and all of the Bad Boy stuff and all of that. We used to do these shows. We used to go around. This is when, about the time when he started transitioning to just being a DJ, and so I remember that I had a show, and I brought him to DJ. Okay, I brought him to DJ, and right, that wasn't that show. This is another show that he brought me to DJ, and so we were rocking, and let's pull that up. Okay, God rest his soul. That was my boy, man. But the reason why I say that is because, do you see the guy in the middle? Okay, this is before the DJ Phase hat. Okay, this is before the DJ Phase hat. You see the guy in the middle, and you see how big Biz was. You see how big he was. Okay, and I say that to say, that it's hard. It's really hard for people to actually say that, DJ Phase. I've been through it, man. I this hip hop thing, like I said, and I always tell you guys, yes, I'm one of the creators of it, and I would never take it all and say it was just me, because there's no way one person could say that. It was a group of people, well, not a group of people, it's kids that did what they like to do. We like dancing to drums. We like being able to talk on the mic and snap. We love to dance. We love to do this. We were kids. We love to do this. We love to rock, dress like the older people did. You guys don't realize, but as when we were younger, the older kids and the older people, those were the ones that had women and cars and all of that stuff. So that's what we wanted. We didn't care when we were 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. We didn't care that we wanted a car. We wanted to have the guys, the boys wanted to have a woman that you can kiss like that, you know. We wanted that. We wanted to be able to do that, you know. And so that's what we did. We emulated those things. We if we could dress like them, we would dress like them, you know. But one thing I gotta say about this hip hop thing is that when we did that, when we started doing just the drum break and you know, dancing the way that we were dancing, you know, a lot of the older, not even, I'm talking about teenagers and older, were like, that is the dumbest thing I ever seen or heard in my life. They were like so against it. And so, you know, that's why it hurts so bad, especially being one of those kids, to know. And God, you know, like I always say, you know, all the ones that were the creators and passed away, God rest their soul. The names will be in the book because I'm going to tell the names, but they didn't get a chance to see this $1 trillion business that came about because of what we were doing. They didn't get a chance to see it. And for us now to look, and left and right, people are just stealing our deals and stealing whatever. And just like I said, now after the 80s, someone is going to accuse me of stealing something that I did in the 70s. You see what I'm saying? And so on and so on and so on. And these people are saying that they're the creator of something, but when you ask them, well, what did you create? They can't tell you anything. They'll tell you, oh, I got a document that says this. I got a document that says, but okay, forget about the document. What did you create? Did you create any music? Did you DJ? Did you create any music? Did you create any talking stuff on the microphone? Did you create any type of a dance that goes? Did you have any of the fashion for the creation of it? Now, those questions cannot be answered at all. Cannot be answered. But yet and still you're screaming that you created hip hop. But where are the documents for that? Show me documentation, or show me anybody that says that you DJ'd, you played this music, you talked on the microphone, you said this snap, you did this dance that people copied off of, you had these clothes that people were and show me that. And that's why that these people talk about after the creation. They say hip hop didn't start until this part, till 79, 80. That's when they say that hip hop started. You know why? Because you can't go back to 70 and 71 and 72 and 73 and 74. You can't go back there. You have no recollection of it. You have nothing that you can say, or nobody can say that they saw you there or they did something at that time. It was so great for me to hear, and I got to shout out her name, China Black, to hear China Black get on my live and say what Cool D told her. And what Cool D told her is that, yes, I was so young and so little the first time, not afterwards, the first times. This is before even they came in, whatever. How I used to have a crate under the table. This is 70 or 71, 72. I used to have a crate near the turntables so that I could put my records up on there. Okay. And so that's a fact. That's not nothing you know, documents or whatever you could say, you know, nothing. That was it. Pure fact. You see. And so the thing that really kills me and is gets me is that so far everything that I'm saying to you, I can show. I just pulled off my British Walker. Okay, hold on. I'm doing a live. You keep on calling me. Go on my live. I'm on my live. All right? All right. So that's one of the things that I'm showing as I go. I'm showing that. So all of these creators, please show us pictures. Please tell us about this equipment that was supposed to be obtained by you. Tell us what the equipment was that was obtained by you. Show us the equipment. Show us these records, these break beats. Show us. Say some of the things that you were saying in the early parts of I was walking down the street late one night, and then all of a sudden out went the light. And when I looked down the alley, what did I see but the say some of those joints, yo. Say some of those things, all right? Okay, I'm not an MC, but I can still kick that. You know what I mean? All right? So, fashion, okay? Like I said, I could pull out the stuff. I pulled out the champagne, the AJ Lester champagne. Not the AJ Lester bottle of champagne. I pulled out. Now, if you was in AJ Lester and you was getting thousands and ratings and all of that, you was getting down millions and thousands or whatever. Out of all of that, you should at the least, have a bottle of AJ Lester champagne, or the Polo, or the Pierre Cardin, or you should be able to show that quarter field with the AJ Lester, or a Montneck, or AJ's, or the British Walkers, or the Playboys. Something. Okay, I'm getting calls for me not going to the comments. They said I got so many comments and I didn't do no shout outs or any of that. But you know, so I gotta do that. I gotta go back to these comments. But I told you guys that that's why I wanted to do this early and everything. Whoa, my God, look at the comments. Oh my God. First of all, okay, shout out to Riri. Okay, that's my moderator. I love her so much. She's always there coming in. First class citizen. Okay, let's go to him first. And fam, China Black, peace. Okay. Woo. Y'all were blowing it up. Oh my God. They were going in. I can't even see this. Okay, let's go. First thing, let's go here. Let's go here. Okay, China Black. China Black says when people talk about flyers and ask you the name Cruz from 71, they were definitely not around in the beginning, and that's exactly right. That's exactly right. And do you see all the people that are talking about the flyers and say, oh, well, they wasn't on a flyer or they didn't whatever. They were not around. They don't know nothing about it. And that's the only way they get information is from the flyers that they see. So if the flyers started a certain part of hip hop, that's the only the information they have. And so because they don't have any other information, that's the only thing they have to go by is the flyers. So they don't know that they were never at those parties that they got the flyers for, or they say the name about. They weren't at those parties, but they heard about them. And that's just like China Black. You know exactly who I'm talking about. All right. You know exactly who I'm talking about. All right. So it's just like, come on, that just proves and it shows you weren't there. Okay. Yeah, First Class Citizen says, count me in. I'm definitely looking forward to that book. Oh, you First Class, you definitely getting the book. You're getting the book as soon as it comes out. You guys, that's another thing. You're going to have to find a way to definitely hit my email, or you're going to have to do something because I'm going to have to find a way to get those books to you. And thanks for reminding me that, First Class Citizen, definitely. Okay, hold on. A lot of people are just okay. Mansa Musa says now Puerto Ricans are claiming they created our haircuts. I'm not laughing. Okay, no, he's not laughing. I'm not laughing. But okay, so oh man, how like, but how can they claim that? Like, it's just like that's just virtually impossible to claim. Like, how could they claim that? Like, there's no way that they can claim it. So that makes absolutely no sense. But this is the sad part about it, that if we don't say anything, they will claim it. If we don't say, if we're not on platforms like this and saying, yo, this is just a complete lie. And you know what the crazy part is? They'll get mad at us for saying they didn't. They'll get mad at us for saying that they did not do that. And now, so that's just another reason that they're mad at DJ Faze. That's just another reason. Okay, like, it's another reason. Okay. Bro, we know that's a lie. They were still running around with Menudo hairstyle. See, First Class Citizen, oh my God. Oh my God. I can't with you guys. Okay. Okay, so let's look at okay, Renee LaRock is in the building. What's going on? How are you? Okay. Mr. DJ Music is in the building. Peace. Okay. Okay, he says, my pops had a pair of those along with an Akai 747 reel to reel. He bought them both while he was in the Army in the late 60s. Now, see, we got our first Akai reel to reel. And Akai, so if you know about that, Mr. DJ Music, you would know that the first microphones for hip hop were square, and they came from that Akai reel to reel. Now, you just said something that is history. History. Now, all of those, watch after now, after we said that here, watch how they're going to talk about the square microphone and the Akai. My uncle was in the Air Force, and he was in Germany. He was in Japan. He was in all of these places in the '60s, and that's where we got our first Akai reel to reel with the square microphones. History. Okay. Let me see. Akeem was good. 4,700. That's good. It's right there, right now. Okay. Why does it have? Okay. Oh. Okay. Why does it have crossfaders on it? If Flash invented a crossfader, well, Hakeem, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. Okay. So basically, the reason why I showed that is because, like I said, I have the stuff. I have all of the equipment that was used because a lot of the equipment was already mine from the Jump Street. I have, you'll see in the book that I have all kinds of stuff from that era. That was from Mario. I have, there's so many pictures and stuff that I have. I have the film. I have the actual cassette playing the music and stuff. So those, that right there, that Sansui that I was showing you, people don't know. People don't know that that was the beginning. That was the creation. That was one of the things that was used. And so they're going to lie and say that this is, the other day somebody told me, oh, that they saw this in this museum and all that. And it's a lie. That's a lie. I have the turntables. I have the mixer. I have the receiver. I have all the records that come on. You guys know. You guys that know and love me know that each house I own, I have a house, one house right now that has no tables in it, has no refrigerator, has no sofas, has no nothing in it. All it has is crates of records from the attic to the basement. That's all it has. When you walk into this house, that's all you're going to see is records. You're not going to see anything. Okay? And that comes from years and years of collecting records. Okay, so break beats is that's how I learned to play drums, and people are not getting it. They're talking about, oh, they were there when Mario did this and they were, but they're lying. They first of all, and this is 100% true. The reason why there was a rope there was so you could not come back and see the equipment or see the records, or that's why the rope was there. And none of these people, I didn't see none of these people that are claiming that they were there behind the ropes. Never. So, oh my God, this is so funny that a lot of people had to either and that's in my book. That's a long story. I'm not going to say that, but yes. Flash didn't invent no crossfader. No, he did not. And this is some of the lies and things that were told after everything was already created. You see what I'm saying? And all of these people, these historians, and all of these creators or whatever, that's all they have to go by is the things that happen after. You see what I'm saying? And that's all they have to go by. So that's why the whole Herc claim is and so when we did that and showed how that couldn't have been, then I got hated for that. They hated me, FaZe, for that. Oh, FaZe is a liar. Oh, FaZe is this. Oh, we ain't FaZe and all of that. So it's just at this point, well, I never did care really, but it's all coming to head right now. They're saying, and so just like I just said about the person that said that they bought Mario's equipment and they got this Mario's equipment and said that there was no breaks there, it just shows you that not only is that a lie, but nothing else but what was done could ever be proven. Like, I could prove the breaks that was played. I could have proved the equipment that was being used. I could show the fashion and stuff. I could do that. But these people, they cannot produce none of this. Okay. And so, like I said, if you guys need me to, I'll go straight to my mom's house. I'll get the receiver. I'll put it on camera. And I'll do my head like this or whatever, so you know that it's me live. And I'll turn it this way and I'll turn it that way. All right, so I can show you. All right, that's it. That's it. And this is this is why you got to get the book. I show the exact turntable that I have, the turntables. I show the exact receiver that it shows. And I show Mario with his head doing that. And I show as a kid me holding the records on the side of the table. Okay, and Mario standing right there. Okay, so you cannot change that. That is something that is just like that. That's pure fact. And so that's what kills these people so much. It gets them so mad. JG was good. JG11, peace was good. Okay, I'm trying to get to some questions here, man. Okay, and like I said, okay, he remembers. A first-class citizen says they remember this. Now, this is the catch. Now, I remember that my uncles had those stereos with the record players back in the day. Right. Okay. So now, this is the catch with that first-class citizen. Remember when I was telling you about how the pioneers said that, that it started with the scratching and it started with everything. When hip hop started, remember, there were Gerard record players. And I said that years ago. When I said that, nobody was really saying that. Matter of fact, nobody was. I can actually say that nobody had said that before. But then, after I said that, people started saying it. And that's just facts. That's just facts. Like that's facts. So yes, that they were record players back then. So Flash say he was cutting and scratching, or whoever says that they were cutting and scratching in the creation of hip hop, they're lying. Okay. 100 crates of disco records and not one break record. You can't make this up. Somebody sent me the video. Somebody sent me the video of them saying, that's just fact. What God tell me, this is, I'm showing you. And so me looking at that video, I'm like, yo, you making yourself look really, really bad, because the beat masters, see, I'm a beat master, and there's a few beat masters out here. And the reason that they became beat masters is because at that early, time, they started looking into these records and these beats, and so they started, getting them, and they became beat masters. But then there's a lot of beat masters that acquired somebody else's beats, and got them. They didn't have to go searching for records. And man, as a kid, I used to get on that 6 train, and I would go to Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, the everywhere to find records. Okay, Jersey, oh man, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Ohio. Oh my! Everywhere we went, I was getting records. So yeah, that's impossible. Okay. I wasn't gonna say nothing, but okay, I wasn't gonna say nothing. But like I said, that's why, I had to show you guys Cold Sweat. I had to show you a Funky Drummer. I had to show you Say It Loud, I'm Black and Proud. I had to show you Scorpio, and I had to show you when they were released and when they were made. And so all of those people that said that Mario didn't play the breaks and everything, you see how that works, right? You see that the people know that he was playing those records. People know that he was playing those records. They know that those are breaks, but they say he wasn't playing because those people were not there. They were not there. And it just drives me up the wall to know that all of these people, they're fake, and they say that they were there when they weren't there. They just were not there. So they don't know. All they do is hear. They're ear jacking. They hearing what other people say, and they run and say this, and they run and say that. But wasn't there. And we all know, I'm not going to expose you, but we all know, the two people already know that you are nowhere to be found. And in the beginning, if you were there, you were nothing like you say. Okay, we know this, and I could get 100 people to say that. I could get 100 people to say, "Yo, was this? No, what? No, what? No." 100 people can straight out say no. And then I can get those same 100 people to say, was I rocking this? Was I doing this? Was I there? The same 100 people. And they'll say, yes. Yes, you was there. Yes, you was dancing like that. Yes, you was playing music like that. Yes, you was snapping like that. Yes, you had the fashion like that. The same 100 people. So let's do that. If you want to really do something, let's say, if you want to challenge me or whatever, do that. You get 100 people. Matter of fact, fuck that. Get 20 people. I'll get 100. You get 20. I get 100. Just say anything about what you're saying is true. Anything. All right. That's a challenge. Okay. All right. That's just straight up. All right, because I know for a fact, people tell me every day, yo, I just got on the phone today, yo, I remember carving out of the second floor, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what it does. I don't need to lie. My life was so fabulous, so great, so it was the best that there's nothing that I have to lie about for my childhood. Nothing, because it was there. We was there. We did that. We rocked at Pathmark, packing bags and taking grocery to their cars. We did that. We were behind Pathmark pitching pennies. We did that. We did swim in the pool. It was pulling off women. We did that. We were in the pool doing that. We did run on the stores in St. Lawrence and Beach Avenue and grab the Sunday paper on the Saturday and run back to the projects with it. We did that. We went to Corvettes and was rocking, took the hibachi and came back to the pool and had a barbecue. We did that. We used to take our sodas and all of that stuff and put it in the freezer, in the ices and all of that stuff in Pathmark, and go in there and make sandwiches and potato chips and Suzy Q's and all of that, and come out with that. We did that. I gotta lie about that. We did that. That was something we did. For a fact. Macy's. We did that. Woolworths. We did that. So we don't have to make that up. We did that. It's unbelievable, man. Okay, hold on. Uh-oh, I see something now. Okay, Akeem, Dwayne B did a master class on Puerto Rican music, instruments, and Jamaican folk music last night. Oh, I missed that. I got to check that out. I got to check that out. But I'm sure it had nothing to do with hip hop. Okay. Wow, y'all really went in, man. Y'all really went in. Okay. Okay, here. Scorpio was the joy. Dennis Coffee made Taurus also, but it wasn't as popular. Oh man, Dennis Coffee made a couple of things. Those are break beats, but I ain't gonna tell you about it. But yes, now Mario played Scorpio when it came out, not later on when it came out. Because I remember I cannot say it anymore. How I remember going to Corvettes and purchasing Scorpio. Okay, I remember that for a fact, and I couldn't wait for Mario to play it on the big thing. See, because this is another thing too that people don't understand. We could be but so loud in the apartment. We could be but so loud. Even back in the days, we could be so loud. And we would be, yes, we would be turning it up. People out to hear us in the next building and all that, yes. But to be outside and rocking those gouts outside, totally different vibe, totally different. And then that's why another thing, that's why all of those people that said Mario was playing disco just don't know, man. They just don't know. They just don't know what it was. You see what I'm saying? Cold Sweat was considered the first funk record. The first funk record considered. That's not that it was, that was considered. Because they had funkier records before that. And I can name a few. They got nothing but open drums on it. Nothing but open drums. But I'm not going to say nothing. Okay. All right. Look, oh my God. Time has went so fast. Oh my goodness. It went so fast. Okay. Yeah. This. Let me put this up for a minute. Okay. So listen, guys. Listen. I did this video because they sent me the video of the person saying that. I also did this video because of, I keep on seeing stuff about how I stole an event. Okay. I'm not going to expose these people. I'm not going to do it. But I just say this, that you're both making yourselves look bad, because you got to understand that there are people that are still here that know the truth. There's people that still know the truth. All of these people that got flyer history and all of that, knowing that like Flash created the crossfade and Herc did this and all of that. Those are hearsay people. But you have people that were actually there and heard Mario play Cold Sweat. Heard Mario play Soul Power and other things. Heard me playing Picnic Markham out of the window. Heard me playing drums all over. And so these people that are saying these things, people are looking at you like, why are you lying? Why are you lying? How could you have 100 crates of records and no break beats? That just doesn't make sense. How could I steal an event and you weren't even there for the first how many years? Over 10, 12 years after hip hop was created. How could you even say I took an event when you weren't at the first tribute to Mario when he was alive? How do you know who was a baby Spade when you weren't even there to know? You understand? This is one thing that makes no sense to me. Is baby Spades started out as being babies, basically. So those babies grow up. So by the time you get there, those babies are grown up. So how do you know who was a baby Spade? How do you know that? You don't. How do you know what Mario was doing in 70 and 71 and 72 and 73 and who was around Mario? How do you know that? You don't. The only thing that you could possibly do is hear from someone else. You couldn't have seen me because you weren't there. Just like the other person. You can't talk about the carriage room because you wasn't there. You can't talk about the lollipop because you wasn't there. You can't talk about the bowling alley because you wasn't there. You can't even talk about 123 because you wasn't there. You can't talk about 100 Park. You can't talk about the Crazy Eight, Shaft, Big Ben, Frankie, Chipper, Big Ed, Stacy, Smiley, Grease. Can't talk about none of them because you wasn't there. You don't know that Mario played in Monroe. You wasn't there. You wasn't there when Mario played in Noble, right across the street from Noble Mansion in Noble Park. You wasn't there. You wasn't there when Mario played in Corvette's parking lot. When it was Corvettes. You weren't there. So you don't know. You do not know. And all you have is hearsay. Hearsay. I could tell you how the equipment was set up. What were some of the warm-up records? What we was rocking. Talking about the snake. You ever saw Mario do the snake? No. Never. Lying. You're lying. So tell me how this became, because now remember, we were kids. We were kids. So tell me, if we were kids, how old were you in the creation of hip hop? We were kids, and we're older than you. So how could you see this? And you're making yourselves look bad because we're still around. And we know you're lying. We know you're lying. We know what you dress like. We're the ones snapping. So we know. How could you go from one place to somewhere and say that you created what? What were you doing in the creation of it? What were you doing in the creation of this? And this is what I don't understand. So for those two people, prove that you was there for the creation. Prove that I stole something from you. Prove it. I have pictures of the first joint tribute to Disco King Mario event. Prove that you were the first one to do that. Prove it. You can't. You can't prove it. So people are looking at you like you're stupid. People in here right now know. They know right here in this live right now. They know who you are. When you came to Bronxdale, they know right here in this live right now. And it doesn't have nothing to do with nothing that you say. What I just started saying was that so this is the beginning part of what I'm going to be starting to show and prove, because these days, like I said, these days, all right, you have to show and prove. I pulled off my British Walker, so you know I'm about that life. All right? I show pictures of the receiver that someone said that they bought. If you bought something, then obviously it's yours. Where is it? Where are the records that you say? I can show you here. You want to see pictures of records? Here. Let's do that. Let's do that. Here. Where's that at? Here. Let's do that. Here you go. Why is that coming up? There you go. Okay, there. All right. And that's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. That's nothing. Okay? That's nothing. All right? That's nothing. All right? Do that. Show us that. Show us something like that. Show us that. Please. Here, let's go another one. Here. Show us you doing that. Show me you doing that. Taking thousands? Show that. Show those 45s. Show a closing plate. Show that. Show that. Show this. Show that. Show that. Show the James Brown suit. Because that's what it was supposed to be. The James Brown suit. I showed you the picture of him with that suit on. Show that. So as a kid, having that. Show that. Show it. Let's see. Yeah. Want to see more records? Yeah. There's more records. Show that. You talk about Andre Harrell from our building. Show that. Show it. Let's see. Please. Let's see. And that's all I'm saying. It's like 2026 is show and prove. You got to show and prove. Go show me your video where you pull off your British Walker off your foot and show it to people. Can't see the inside anymore. That's how much it was worn. Show it. And that's all I'm saying, people. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is all of this. Oh, I got documents. I got this. Oh, I was the first one that did this. Oh, he stole the event from me. Prove it. Anything I say, I could prove. I could prove. I could prove that I was in 1055 Rosedale Avenue. I could prove I was at 1085 Beach Avenue. The times that I was there. I could prove that I was behind Mario's set, putting records on. I could prove that. I could prove what I was wearing and rocking. Prove it. It's time to prove. The 2026 is the year of prove it, not just talk about it. Anybody can make up any documents. I could write a document right now, Xerox it, or whatever, and that's it. Show. Go and show some of the names. This is how we could prove if it was Mario's records, right? So we know the span in which Mario would have been playing records, right? Go into those records, right? And show us records from the 70s. This is Mario's records, right? Show us records, popular records from the 70s. Oh, I got you there. Oh, I got you there. All right. Now, the Mario's records, he has to have records from the 70s in there, right? He has to have records from the 70s and the 60s. If it's Mario's records, right? So show those records, right? Especially from down south, the disco that was down south. Oh God, this is what kills me. Remember, so you mean to tell me, right? Disco King Mario that comes from down south was playing disco records down south? What disco you was going to down south? Please tell me. What disco in the early 70s and the 60s were you going to down south? What discotheque were you going to down south? Remember, this is the South where juke joints were the thing. Okay? Juke joints. Now in the South, they were playing disco records. So he brought his disco records from the South to, oh man, this makes so much sense when I really think about it now. You hear this? You hear where I'm going with this? And I'm giving my next thing is going to be on this. The proof was right there. But so now remember, they said they got 100 crates full of disco records, right? Okay, let's go and learn. What about the disco records that you call disco, like MFSB, like I Can't Stop, like Paradise is very nice, like DC LaRue, like what about all of those records, right, that are breaks, but they weren't in those 100 crates? Right? Those disco records. Bam! I got you. I got you, yo. Oh man, see, that's what it is. See, the real don't have to lie. They don't have to perpetrate. They don't gotta do none of that. You see what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to show you some of the crates or whatever from Mario, and I'm going to go because you got to understand, with Mario, a lot of the stuff the stuff that I had was mine. It was mine, period. But so I'm gonna go through some crazy. And what I'm gonna do is this is what I'm gonna do for you guys, right? I'm gonna take the camera and I'm gonna just tell you, pick a crate. Tell me when to stop. And when I stop, I'm gonna take the record out. I ain't gonna show you. But I'm gonna take the record out. I'm doing the album cover. I'm gonna put it on the turntable and I'm gonna play it for you. All right, and I'm gonna play it for you. Anyone you pick, because that's how confident I know that the break beats is. That's why I'm the beat master. Go ask some of the beat masters. Go ask break beat Lenny. Ask him. Ask Kid Capri. Ask him. All right? Ask them, okay, about me. All right? Ask them about my breaks. Okay? Ask Herc. Go to Herc. You always grind about Herc. So go run to Herc and ask him. About my break beats. Okay, so 100 crates of Mario's records and no break beats. I gotta go to a couple more comments and I'm gonna go because it's way too late. Listen, please like, share, donate, subscribe, do all of them, make the notification buttons and everything. And listen, like it's worth a little bit of donation today. You know what I'm saying? I don't go on every day and everything, but it's worth a little donation. I gave y'all some jewels, I tell y'all some stuff, and y'all gonna figure it out for yourself. But okay, look. Okay. All right, man. Okay, this is what I'm saying. I see right now that the haters are coming. They're here. Remember, the haters are here. And the reason why the haters are here is because they go look and number one of the haters is because I bullied them when I moved uptown. I bullied them. And I shouldn't have did that. I apologize that. But the other reason why the haters are here is because they hate to see that showing that I am real and showing how it was created and knowing that they knew this for so long, the fake stuff or whatever, it's so hard for them to realize that all that they knew was false. All that they knew was false. And so they hate that. So to see me do this and to see me whatever, and also check this out. Think about this. If they did all of this, number one, they had to, like they say, they ask about me, all right? Why do you have to ask? If you were there, why did you have to ask? Okay? So let's just get them out of here. Go ahead. I won't even put none of their stuff. Okay. Okay, oh yeah, but China, I don't want to put his name up there, so that's why I'm not gonna put that on there. Okay, so that's don't even argue with them. Trust me, the person that you're talking to now is one of the hundreds of names that they got. Because they're so jealous, they so hate me so much. Oh God. Listen, you guys, don't y'all know this is the same guy? Y'all are arguing with y'all are arguing with this guy for no reason. We already know he's a nobody. He never was into hip hop. He never knew nothing about hip hop. He doesn't. He talks about he knows people. He don't know jack. He's a wannabe. He wants so bad to be me. Don't argue with this guy. Just Riri, get him out of here. Just get him out of here. And I don't even have to say nothing. Everybody is killing him. So he'll run. In a few minutes, he's gonna change his name and go to something else. He's gonna change his name and be somebody else. We already know this. We know. Oh God. Oh God. Oh man. Right. And everything he said, notice he goes, well, I asked this person. Oh, I asked this person. And this person said this. And this were you there? Do you know what the lollipop is? Do you know what the second section is instead of saying little booby the second? Do you even know? You don't know. You don't know. They killed him. They killed him, man. Oh God. Right. Okay. Yeah, this one. I don't waste my time with Latinos and Jamaicans. They have no credibility with me when it comes to foundational Black American history. I just see them as liars and scammers. Exactly. Oh God, it's so funny. Let me get off this live, man, because I got things to do. But oh God, but see people, you see what I'm talking about now. Do you see what it is? And so this guy, this whatever this is, every single video that I do on this channel, other channels, or whatever, when I did microphone check, hated it, couldn't stand it, because it's real. You see what I'm saying? And they were not there. They hate me with a passion. Hate me like with a passion. And so it's like, it makes me feel so good, because you gotta know, if they're that jealous, that must mean that they must really admire everything that you do. So just keep admiring me. Keep on. Just, you'll never be us. You'll never be us. You'll never be in the cool team. You'll never be hip hop. You'll never be anything. And just. Am I? I gotta put this one up there. Okay, I gotta put this. I was gonna put his name up there, but I gotta put his name up there so y'all can see. Exactly. It is so much on my Debbie, right? And you're a man. If you're a man, oh my God. So, that makes sense though. It might be a female. It might be a female that, that I probably like, get out of here. I don't want to be, And so it could be a female. So that's why it could be, it could be really, wow. Oh my goodness. Shaking my head. This guy is not well. He's in love. Oh God. Okay, guys, I gotta go. I gotta go. Please listen, y'all. Subscribe, like, share, donate. Please, And I want to come back now. This is what I want to do because remember, like I told you, 2026 is going to be nothing but proof. Nothing but proof. And so I want to. This is what I want to do. I want to show the receiver, and for some of you beat guys, I'm going to show a couple of the records. I'm going to show the turntable, and I'm going to show probably quarter feel or something like that. And the reason why I'm saying these things proven is because every video that they make and they show, I just want to show you the proof of how it's not true. Nothing that they're saying is true. Like nothing they're saying. Like there's no way in the world you could have got any of Mario's crates. Because Mario didn't have that many crates with just disco music in it. So like I said, it's just fabricated lies and stuff like that. And the people that say it weren't there. They are not there. I'm gonna keep it real. A lot of people that say they were doing this fashion and stuff like that, we snapped on. So if we snapped on you, you couldn't have been really doing that fashion. Okay. So yes, we snapped on you, and that's why y'all are mad today. Y'all are mad at us today because we snapped on y'all when y'all was younger, when we were younger. So yeah, that's just pure fact. All right. So that's it. Or a transformer. You got that right. Or a transformer. That's a transformer. Like, just think about it. Who could be on somebody's job that bad? Like, no matter what, every single video I get on, they come in. Every video, and how many names? Imagine just having 100 different names. 100 different names for what? So because we kick you out at one time, so you make another name. You kick it out, and then you go. It's ridiculous. That's suspect. But anyway, like I said, peace. I'll probably come back. Let's do Wednesday. Let's do Wednesday. Let's do Wednesday. All right. Peace. Love you guys. And I'm going to keep it on because I know you guys are still battling everything. So, peace. I love you guys.